Heel Heat.
He said to watch True Heel Heat now! Right now!
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3, and we are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch for our AEW Redemption 2026 preview, breaking down the final major stop ahead of AEW All In London this August as AEW returns to Montreal, Quebec, Canada, the Bell Center. We got championship gold on the line, and the picture for All In will be much clearer coming out of this Sunday show, and we're going to give you our predictions for it. And to do that, I am joined by my esteemed colleagues. We got first up the MC of the past, present, and future of New Japan Pro Wrestling here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, and one of our AEW correspondents, the one and only Jay News. How you doing, Jay?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. Been a busy week trying to catch up on all the graps and stuff like that. So trying to stay abreast of all the situations going on. Plenty of stuff. Thanks, John.
Abreast.
Just trying to keep up, man. It's been a very busy summer for me and stuff like that, but glad to be on as usual. Here going to be spitting on this preview of AEW Redemption, which I have my thoughts on, obviously, and we'll go over that. So yeah.
Absolutely. We all got our thoughts on Redemption, and a lot of the fan base has his thoughts on Redemption, which I'm sure is also the same with our third person on the panel today. He is the main man, the founder of Dirt Sheet Radio. You've seen him on a lot of our AEW content. Of course, he is John Escudero. How you doing, John?
I'm doing good, brother. How you doing, man? I'm here to talk about Redemption, which I keep calling Revolution by accident.
I mean, to be fair, Excalibur did to open up.
I was so glad he did that because I felt seen.
He said, for once in my life, I felt like I was seen from the TV. He reaching out, touch somebody. But yes, we got a lot to discuss for this Sunday show, the last pay-per-view ahead of All In London in Wembley Stadium. So we got a lot to discuss, and we want to discuss it with all of you. So we appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all for watching us on demand. Either way, show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. We got full coverage of AEW Redemption. Not only do you get a preview right here with me, John, and Jay News, we got final predictions on the True Hill Heat flagship podcast tomorrow. And then on Monday, we'll be back with our AEW Redemption review as well. So a lot of great stuff for you to enjoy. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here, and keep the conversation going in the comments down below if you're watching us on demand. And if you're with us live, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you, hear your thoughts on AEW Redemption, your predictions, your takes on the card. And of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you could send a super chat donation like our good friend Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for all the support. He says, "What's good, THH fam? I think that AEW Redemption will be good for sure despite the build, but I'm more focused on the Redemption build for my 676ers. We got LeBron? Seriously? Let's fucking go." I feel like the super chat is just for that last part. Just for that last part, which I respect, because, man, the Sixers making all these Knicks fans go into hate coping mode. I've seen so many Knicks fans just tell me so much nonsense, like, "Oh, it don't matter. Jalen Brunson gonna smoke all of them." I was like, oh, that's how I know it was a good move, because y'all all mad. Y'all all mad right now. So I appreciate you, Chuck Berries. It's going to be an interesting Eastern Conference coming up next year. But yes, there's been a lot of talk about the Redemption build and this the concept that this is the first Redemption show, and of course the big time matchup that was Kenny Omega versus MJF at Beach Break, with Kenny Omega winning the AEW World Championship, was a change in plans that has been confirmed by multiple reports and somewhat confirmed by Tony Khan during the conference call yesterday, where Kenny Omega and MJF was supposed to be at this show. That is why it was called Redemption, but it got moved off the card. So before we get into everything, kind of give your overall thoughts on kind of the whole conversation that's been going on in terms of Redemption and it feeling like a B show or a throwaway show, and the fact that All In is kind of overshadowing what they're doing or what they're trying to do at Redemption on Sunday. J News?
Well, I guess I'll start. I agree with the sentiment. Have no reason to even want to watch this pay-per-view, to be quite honest, in the sense of there shouldn't have been a pay-per-view between All In and Forbidden Door. If they would have put Redemption elsewhere, I would have been okay with it. But just adding this pay-per-view to me didn't make any sense. Now, if there were last-minute changes made to the MJF versus Kenny match, which obviously there were, that's even more reason to not have this show at the end of the day. And, I think that I saw during the week Brian Alvarez have this rant. He went off on this rant about how AEW just does not know how to promote their shows and their matches within good timing. And I agree. You have to criticize AEW for that. Just based on the fact alone that they added a 6-man ladder match to the show online, and the show is on Sunday, and they did this yesterday. To me, like, from an overall scope, I feel like they set this show up for failure in the sense of just shoehorning it in, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be an awesome show because it's an AEW pay-per-view. They do pay-per-view better than any other wrestling promotion on the planet. But at the end of the day, you're still shoehorning this freaking show into Sunday. As per the build, I'll be honest with y'all, just like when we break down the matches, we'll go through it. Some matches have had build, other matches have had none. So it's like it's really kind of a 50-50 thing with it. So yeah. I'm not necessarily here nor there. But right now, my overall feeling is that there's no need for Redemption in between All In and Forbidden Door. That's my overall feel.
What about yourself, John?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with what everybody has been saying. I mean, but I also get it. Like it was just like we were just gonna give Kenny the belt in Canada on pay-per-view. Like that's what I wanted to do. And then this fucking guy broke his leg or fucked his knee or whatever happened, and now it fell apart. So it's like, it sucks. It's not like you can cancel the show now that MJF's injured, so you do what you got to do. But yeah, it's there. It makes me think of like No Way Out. Sometimes it's just there. Which is
roadblock, end of the line.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I think I said No Way Out specifically because it's in between two major shows, and the next show is like the biggest show of the year or whatever. And sometimes you just go with fucking let's do Rock and Hulk Hogan again. Yeah, I guess. I think that without a strong main event, the whole show feels like it's not a pay-per-view because the pay-per-view generally has the strong main event. It's a pay-per-view. So no knock on Kevin Knight. Obviously, he's gonna go out there and he's gonna have a fucking incredible match, but he's not gonna win the title. And going in knowing it, like it kind of sucks the air out of the show. So it's still gonna be good. I'll still enjoy it. Obviously, I mean, it's $20 on my AEW. I'm not bothered, but people are paying $50. That's the thing.
I was gonna ask, which I think it was one of y'all were on camera when I said something about Kevin Knight after he's joined the Don Callis family, and I think I was one of the first people who said Kevin Knight did not like that decision. And did you see the recent report by Sean Ross Sapp on the Hump? He's now reporting that, Kevin Knight hasn't liked some of the things that they've done with his whole turn so far and how it's turned out. And he didn't want to betray Speedball Mike Bailey before the Jet Speed tag team actually accomplished something. So what do you think, John, about that new report of Kevin Knight not being too pleased with how his heel turn has turned out so far?
Well, it's too much. There's two ways to look at it too, because I saying he's not pleased with how it turns out, with how it turned out, is a little strong, because how it turned out is he ended up main eventing a pay-per-view with the world champion. So but not being happy with leaving Speedball behind, that makes a lot more sense, because it doesn't make sense even as a fan. Like, why the fuck did we move forward with Kevin Knight and just dead end Speedball? What the fuck happened there? So there definitely could have been a better way to put Speedball, position Speedball after the Kevin Knight thing. I think that's the biggest, that would be the biggest disappointment if I was Kevin Knight, having these things happen and I can't enjoy them because I keep feeling like, damn, well, my boy's right there, and like we never finished the thing that we had going. So yeah, I definitely understand if he's feeling disappointed. I mean, I am. So shit, they should just have Speedball involved in this match somehow, because it's fucking Canada. But he should have been involved in the storyline if that was going to be the case. So
agreed.
I'm not sure what Tony's thinking, but he's making some mistakes here.
Yeah, and it's the wrong time of the year to make those mistakes on the road to Wembley Stadium. Jay News, what do you think about the whole Kevin Knight news that's came out this week?
Yeah, man, I heard this morning when I was watching, when I was catching up with all the news stuff from the week and all that, and I wasn't surprised that Kevin felt the sort of way. And I'm gonna premise this by saying that I have a feeling that Kevin knew ahead of time he was going to be part of the main event scene at one time or another, and not just as fast, right? And from a storytelling perspective, I completely understand and I feel them basically shelving the whole his tag team with Speedball, not making that a longer term story, that not necessarily turning into something for Speedball, which is the perspective I'm getting from Kevin, because Kevin was going to shoot to the top, but they haven't really given Mike much of anything. Mike kills it every time he's in the ring, but from a story perspective, from a character perspective, they haven't given Mike much. Look at what just happened, and I just mentioned this earlier with the ladder match. He shoehorned in this ladder match at the end of the day. So it's like they didn't give him anything to do from a character perspective, And I've always been a proponent of Kevin Knight not being part of the Don Callis family. There was no need for that. You could have turned Kevin heel, no problem. I didn't have an issue with that. But him being part of the Don Callis family takes away from anything else. And the story really was how Swerve was in his ear. That's where the real depth for story was. But they went with Don Callis thing anyways. And I was like, I don't know about this right now. And for the most part, has it worked out? Now he has a main event match at a pay-per-view. Cool. But like we're rushing it at the end of the day. So what does it matter? And to what John just said, like we know that he's not going to win the championship. Yes, the match is going to be awesome, no doubt. But it's like, then what happens to Kevin afterwards? What are you going to have Kevin do afterwards? Because now it's like, oh, everybody's infighting in the Don Callis family. We've been there, done that.
Exactly. This is just a different variation of what you just did with Okada and Takeshita. There's not enough time that has passed. Like WWE is doing this, and they're getting complaints about it. Where they're doing the same. They're suing the same Jey Uso story from 2020 with Jacob Fatu in 2026. But at least that's 6 years of difference. Y'all just finished the Okada and Takeshita a whole story in May, and now you're just redoing it with Kyle Fletcher and Kevin Knight. And and I'll be honest with you, based on this week's promo on Wednesday, that ain't exactly making Kevin Knight look the best, because Kyle Fletcher just looks like a main eventer next to Kevin Knight, honestly.
And that's the thing about the comment I made about them rushing it, right? Because it's like, as the phrase goes nowadays, there's levels to this shit, right? So it's like you upped and you increased the stock of Kyle Fletcher to a degree that none of your other younger guys have gotten to, not even Kevin yet. So I think, and this is me just projecting and assuming, I think Kevin was okay with the long term, like him doing this, getting to the top at a slower pace, because everyone know, if you're watching the product, everyone knows Kyle's right there. This isn't supposed to necessarily be Kevin's time, and it's not like Kevin's going anywhere for the next couple of years. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you had the time to do this. Like the rushing of it all is a major issue with what's going on. Like I said, this is where the criticism lies within the whole gamut of things. It's like, we know it's going to be a great match. There's nothing that tells me it's not, but it's like, from a character building perspective, from projecting Kevin as a star perspective, they haven't been doing him any favors. So it's tough. I want Kev to do well, to be quite honest. At the end of the day, he's been cool with us the times he's met us and whatnot. And all the freaking work that he's doing, I think it's been great. I just don't think there's been a need with the Don Callis stuff, and the rushing of all of it hasn't really done him any favors. And Mike Bailey washing off on the wayside, that's just the circumstance at the end of the day.
The whole thing has been mishandled, and all three of us was on the Double or Nothing review on this channel, where we were all high on Kevin Knight getting that spotlight, getting that heel turn at the end of that show. And I just think that after like the first week where they gave him the opening promo, he turned on Speedball and they set up the TNT matchup for the following week. Everything since that show, they have like made misstep after misstep with the Kevin Knight heel run. And it's just like, I will never understand putting him in the Don Callis family. And I don't care. See, I said this before. I said this earlier that I was one of the first people that said Kevin Knight did not like this idea of joining the Don Callis family. And I'll be one of the first people to say, yes, I do believe that sources close to MJF told Fightful that he had nothing to do with Kevin Knight joining the Don Callis family. I have it on good authority. MJF had everything to do with Kevin Knight joining the Don Callis family.
Oh, so you're saying
that's what I'm saying. That's what I have it on good authority.
Okay.
That he is responsible for putting Kevin Knight in the Don Callis family. Everything about the Kevin Knight push has MJF's fingerprints all over it.
It feels like Tony Khan might not have thought that Kevin Knight was strong enough to go as a heel in that spot on his own. And MJF was like, trust me, bro. This is going to work. Put him with the Don Callis family then. Listen, I've had an issue like with Tony Khan's booking style since day one of AEW's existence. There's just a small piece that's always missing to the stories that they tell. It's usually a result of like time, like they just rush into shit. Like I always think back to like when Hangman first won the title. And he was like off all that time, and then he just came back and won a ladder match. And they just went into him versus Kenny, and I was like, well, we just skipped a whole bunch of steps, but it's fine. And so it's been.
It always feels like it's like
right.
at the wrong time. Like that one. It felt like in that summer that we were heading towards All Out Hangman versus Kenny, and then they just switched it up.
They just did Kenny versus Christian.
Yeah,
for some reason. It was a good match, you know, and it was a legendary pay-per-view, but you know, you think about the way that they booked it. And so like it's been 5 years now, and fucking Tony Khan never developed that instinct, that part of the booker's instinct, like where he right now, if you look around, it almost feels like he's so just focused on plugging wrestlers into where he needs to plug them in to tell his stories that he doesn't think about what happens when he unplugs wrestlers. Like you don't have anything for Swerve going into All In.
That was the next thing that I was gonna bring up, because we brought up Swerve, and it's just like, dude, that was like the biggest misstep, because Swerve could have been doing all this stuff with Kevin Knight the last couple of months that he's been missing. Because he's had one of the weirdest years of any top star in any company that I've seen. He started off the year in the world title picture with Hangman, MJF, Kenny Omega in them. Then he gets the whole rivalry gets started with him and Omega. He has that match of the year candidate in February where he beats Omega, then turns heel. Then he has the matchup with Brody King at Revolution. That was great. Kenny comes back. They say he's the number one contender, and then he's facing Kenny for the EVP. Kenny beats him, and then he's gone for like a month and a half. A month and a half he's gone. Then we see him in vignettes to mark his return. At the same time, he's online talking about he was sent home for 6 weeks, that people in AEW don't want him around, and that the powers that be are against him and stuff. Then he comes back at Double or Nothing, beats Bandido. He goes to the Owen Hart Cup final. He has the whole feud with Ospreay in the lead up to Forbidden Door, have a match of the year candidate. Ospreay beats him to win the Owen Hart Cup. And now he's been gone for another month. This is weird as hell. Like I feel like I'm letting all the stuff out. And I hate that this is once again this person, because I am a fan of this person. But I've said this on the channel before, and I'll say it again. There was something that happened between MJF and Swerve backstage that hasn't been reported on yet.
Oh, that's an interesting take. I haven't heard anything about that necessarily or read anything about that, but hey, whatever works, I guess. The only thing I would have to say, I agree with you. That Swerve's booking has been very strange this year. Like I said before, I feel like he would have been better suited to be the devil on Kevin Knight's shoulder, turning him heel, and having that happen, and having Kevin basically be Swerve's protege at the end of the day. And if they wanted to run back Swerve versus Kenny for the third time, I wouldn't have minded it at the end of the day, especially
would have been a perfect time for this pay-per-view.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if MJF got injured. He's the plug and play guy here, because people were talking about. I was hearing reports about, or people speculating about Okada and stuff like that, and it's like, nah, not where Okada's been the last couple of months and year or whatever. Especially with what's been going on with Takeshita and all that jazz. That's more of his line of story right now. But running the Swerve thing, I think would have been the perfect freaking audible to call, instead of rushing this whole thing with Kevin Knight at the end of the day. So, you know, it's it's tough. And yet again, like we were all saying, like this isn't on Kevin. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying anything bad about Kevin Knight, the wrestler, the performer, and all that stuff. Like I said, the match is going to be great. I know it because it's Kenny Omega and it's Kevin Knight. At the end of the day, it's just the characterization of everything, how everything's been laid out, and I don't think TK has been pressing the right buttons with this stuff. Not everybody's going to be perfect. At the end of the day, shit happens. But this is where we are, and this is where we're going to have to deal with. And I just wonder what the fallout's going to be going towards All In at the end of the day. So
there's still time to shit. I mean, All In is fucking 4 weeks away or whatever. Like, there's still time to adjust on this pay-per-view right now. He's talking on he's on the media call talking about. I'm looking at 7 people at least for that are leaving WWE. Like, fuck those people. Like, worry about getting Swerve on the card. Like, worry about putting your pieces back together. You know, like this.
What the hell was going on with this Hangman return?
That's another
that was weird as hell.
That shit was so bizarre. Like the announcement the night before at that baseball show, and then the random promo, and then he just disappeared off television again, and they never even mentioned him. And now it's reported.
They don't mention it on Dynamite. They only mention it on Collision.
This is like they're doing like house show shit on TV. Like if Hangman is injured and Hangman was just gonna come out in his hometown area and cut a promo saying that I'm injured, you know, then that's fine. But it might as well have not even happened.
Yeah.
You know, like it was never mentioned on his return wasn't mentioned on Dynamite. Like it wasn't advertised on Dynamite, and then it wasn't recapped on Dynamite. So it was just non-canon. Like, did it happen? Like, that's see on a fucking scene. Like, it's like it. I don't know, man. It's so weird. That's one of my biggest issues with AEW. Like, not even just right now. Like I said, it's always been. It's the matches are what I come for, but this storytelling, overall. It's usually missing an ingredient. It kind of reminds me of like Raising Cane's. It's like the chicken is fine, but you know, it needs sauce. It's missing a fucking ingredient. It's got pepper. It's missing something.
Apparently, Hangman's return happened on Earth 2 to King Greg. Part Finisher says Hangman returns in Avengers Doomsday. Oh, it was just a preview. It's just a trailer. And then Louis says Tony is building up the AEW multiverse. We got Jerry Finisher says it's funny because this booking overall seems misplaced. Yet Kevin Knight is a prominent wrestler on Dynamite. He's holding a mid-card title and going in for a world title match. Yeah, and the thing is that the report that came out from Fightful about MJF being involved in the decision to make Kevin Knight the challenger for Kenny Omega, it was that he thought that it was the right time to whoever the TNT champion was facing Kenny Omega at this show.
Yeah. What is it? What like who? Okay, so like who's in the title picture? Like, did he mean just like whoever you have on this list? Like it could have been like, you know, Kevin Knight, Darby Allin, you know, somebody else. Like whoever is gonna be TNT champion out of these guys should face Kenny Omega. I would have even went with Darby over Kevin Knight.
Because that's a fresh matchup.
You know, and it's fresh. You've never seen the match, and Darby's already been world champion. You don't have this feeling of the mid-card guy is challenging for a world title. But and as good as he is the mid-card champion. You know, like you are the champion of the mid-card. You know, like and he just got it. It's not like he's been on some crazy 1 year long run as TNT champion and it's already time. And again, I get it. I get that we were just looking around like, who the fuck can we plug in here that can take the loss that I don't have future plans for in that direction.
Exactly. That's all it really comes down to is who can take the loss. Because I was one of the people that was big on the Okada thought, because Okada was guaranteed a title shot back in May against Darby before he left. He's the guy that beat Omega at All In, so he should be the last obstacle before he gets to this year's All In. And because he has the history with Ospreay as well, you can make it allude and play the game on television where you're like, oh, it could be Okada versus Ospreay in the Wembley Stadium main event. I feel like that checks enough boxes for me. And it's Okada versus Omega. That's a ticket draw, and this show is not a ticket draw because it's only sold like 6,300 tickets in like a 10,000, 15,000 seat building.
Yeah, man, it's a rough one. That's all I can say. This has been a rough, it's been a rough outline and structure to this particular pay-per-view, overall. So I'll say that much. The plug, like I said, the plug and play shit. It's like he doesn't necessarily know how to use his pieces on the board. That's what it looks like. MJF suggesting that Kevin be in that spot. I don't have an issue with people trying to push the younger guys. I don't have an issue with that at all. It's like we said, it's the timing thing of it. And it's like, all right, well, Kevin's got TNT championship. He's on TV every week. He's prominent. Like, it's not like he's not important right now. He's important, you know? So putting him in the main event spot, I thought was a bit, you know, it was just like it's misplaced at the end, like it was said earlier and whatnot. Okada, for me, it's been with last year's match between Kenny and Okada. I wasn't the biggest fan of that match. So it was like going back to that match again. It's like, that's why I thought the Swerve thing would have worked. Like you said, Sid, Darby probably would have worked better in that spot. So
I know people were saying Moxley as well, but I don't think that works because he's been so protected. He hasn't lost a singles match in 2026. So why would you let Kenny Omega, who doesn't need it, be the one to beat
just
him?
randomly pins John Moxley, wasting all your fucking effort.
Exactly. That's why I was very adamant. Like, I think Jeremy was arguing for Moxley. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. You should put someone over if you're gonna beat Moxley.
That's almost why I didn't want to do Okada too. Like, I was like, Okada, I guess it would have been the bigger draw for sure. But like, I mean, he doesn't have the effort behind him. I just don't want to say
he hasn't been in a singles match since he lost the international title.
Right.
That's
like,
why
they're literally saving him for a loss at All In. But he's not winning at All In.
I don't think he's getting pinned though. I think they're doing the triple threat, Okada, Fletcher, Takeshita, but it seems like that's what they've been leading towards anyway. Yeah. I just didn't see him getting pinned because they did Takeshita Fletcher so fast on television that I was like, are you going to revisit that, or like you coming back to this in the fall, or what? Like, what the fuck just happened? And I thought it was because he was going to be in the G1, but I was like, if he's going to be in the G1, wouldn't you want him wearing the title in Japan, like on Japanese television and shit?
They want to see their champion losing matches.
Yeah, but so fucking it's the G1. It's a tournament.
We don't want one of our champions to be losing matches. No.
To your point
but we can pin the CML world champion randomly in a fucking
because we don't care about other people's champions.
What was I going to say? Sid, your reasoning about Okada being, the plug and play in this is freaking. It's sound, brother. It's sound. Like, I wouldn't have had a problem if it would have happened, but it's like they just didn't do right by this main event for this show. If for anything else, obviously this was supposed to be Kenny versus MJF. If for anything else, if you're in Montreal, why not just go balls to the wall like you did with Darby and do that shit for Speedball at the end of the day? And you could have made it a face versus face thing, and it would have been fantastic to regardless. And then you're off to the races for All In.
Because remember when Kenny was going for the title at Dynasty, he said when he wins, he's going to give a title shot to Speedball. Right,
exactly.
They have so many threads. Like I said, the whole Okada thing that's a thread. That's a loose thread that they could have followed up on, and they just decided to. Oh no, this is the loose thread that we need to follow up on. Kevin Knight getting his third AEW World Title match of the year.
Yeah,
it's a strange one. It's a strange one. I did want to answer this one. Willis Wheeler, who says the setup was only 6,000 and they filled it. They did not. The setup is for 6,800. They're only at 6,300, so they haven't even filled that. They probably will fill the setup, but there is a difference between a setup and what the building actually holds. The Bell Center in Montreal, Quebec, Canada holds 19,527. The reason why the setup is only 6,000, they didn't believe in themselves to sell that many tickets.
Because they didn't have the show structured well enough to freaking fill the place, man. That's to me, you're shooting yourself in the foot there. You really are.
It's a lesson on trying to do something like that. I guess I'm having a conversation, but at the same time, if I'm Tony Khan and I for some reason thought I'm going to create a pay-per-view for the purpose of this story development, and then it falls apart. Now you only got fucking 3 weeks to figure something out. If I'm Tony Khan, obviously I'm not taking any fucking criticism for this shit. Like, I'm not even hearing it. Like, it was a fucking fluke. Okay, it fucked up. It fell apart. What could I do? Okay, I get what I fucking.
We made the best of a bad situation. That's what he's gonna say.
But it's just, it puts a spotlight on other issues that I have, which is like, there were better ways to put a Band-Aid on this with pieces that you already have that you are neglecting, and because they're so private about things, it's hard to really give a take on something like Swerve. Like, I get the feeling that if a person who was the top of the card is not being used for no reason, then they would be frustrated. But now, tomorrow we find out he broke his foot in March.
Yeah, probably.
He's been home waiting for All In or something. But yeah, again, it is what it is. The card is not that bad.
No. The card is actually going to deliver. Like, I think that we are more addressing the booking, the choices, and the build more than anything.
The overall build to All In is what's hurting here. Like, even if this is just the build to Revolution, it's part of the build to All In. So now the build to All In is lacking. So gotta step it. Put your foot down. Put your fucking pedal to the metal. Get this shit going.
I agree. But as always with our pay-per-view previews, we want to get our hype level, our anticipation level for the show we're talking about. So, Jay News, from 0 to 10, what's your hype level for AEW Redemption?
I'm at a 6. I decided this yesterday because I knew you were going to ask this question, because you always do. And I was like, yeah, I'm at a 6. No real hype. When the show happens, like I said, it'll be great, because no one does pay-per-view like AEW. So it'll be great. But right now, no real hype. As per all the missteps and the decision-making stuff that we already talked about, I'm still mad that the Divine Dominion doesn't have a match on the pay-per-view. So that's another thing that's going on there. And I get it, because they had to also make an adjustment and adapt and call an audible, because Julia got put into the Grand Prix, so they put the women's tag match on Dynamite or whatever, and it's like, God damn, can we not know this ahead of time, folks? It's like, B's been hurt. Like, what? Why did they just put Julia in the
They probably just asked her. She was coming over to do the angle with Thekla, and they was like, "Oh, who wants to be in the 5-star Grand Prix?
Can we have one of these? You got like 3 of them.
Yeah, you got like 3 of them. I know we can't get Thekla, but can we get one of the other 2?
Yeah, and
they couldn't get Anna Jay, because Anna Jay's hurt. So found that out yesterday.
That's right. They did report that.
That was one of the best conference calls they've done.
Oh yeah,
we got so much information out of
Matt Candid.
The Japanese, I was gonna say about Julia Hart, they seem to have really taken to Julia Hart. The Japanese Twitter was like all over, like, who is this doll?
It was crazy. It was crazy because the Japanese Stardom fans were very excited for it, while the American Stardom fans was like, "Oh, I wanted Sky Blue."
Yeah, right.
There's a reason that Thekla used to call the Stardom fan base perverts for all intents and purposes.
I always say, like when I first started watching Stardom, I was like surprised at the crowd, like the sound of the crowd, like when they were reacting, like, oh, those are all men. Those are all old men. Those are all old men. And I realized what the fan base was. I should have known. I'd always known about like Gravure and shit. Like, there's a reason that stuff sold. There's a reason why Rossi made so much money in the beginning. They were all just like him. You know, like,
Gooners.
He knew who to sell to. He knew how to sell to them. He's like, I know. It's me. You know, like,
Gooner Fest. Maggie is not here this week. She had the week off. She said she was busy today because it's a concert week out in Bulgaria. So she'll be back on the next one. Don't worry, guys. But yeah, my anticipation level for this Sunday show, I'm gonna put myself at like I want to say 7, and I think it's only because of what AEW offers on pay-per-view more than the build or the actual card. But when I look at the card and I do like, okay, what's the highest standard this match can go? I think that it's going to turn out where this is going to exceed our expectations. That we're going in with low expectations and it's going to blow it out the water. John?
yeah, I think a default, like the AEW pay-per-views get like the ground floor for anticipation for me is always going to be like a 6. Like you're just going to get a 6 guarantee because I know your pay-per-view is going to be fucking heat. I would probably go a little higher, maybe 6.5, 7, because I have a feeling that they're going to have some interesting story developments here that some people might not see coming on Sunday. But it's going to... but otherwise, yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Like, there's gonna be a lot of good wrestling on this fucking show, and I love good wrestling. So that's why I'm here. I'm here for it.
We do have a super chat donation before we get into the predictions. Dion, thank you so much for the support. He says, I just think this is a stumble for TK. As you said before, SP3, every booker has a shelf life. He's gonna bring in more minds eventually. Maybe he's basically gonna have his Vince McMahon arc, because that's the arc that he's on right now, where in 2020 he decided to take control of the AEW booking, and then for 2 years he was booking pretty well. He was having success, and AEW was doing more and more and striving more and more and hitting business metrics, and then Brawl Out happened. And then we went through like the next 2 years where it wasn't the best booking from AEW. There was always a distraction. I'm still anticipating the NFL lull that happens every year in AEW nowadays. When the NFL season starts, like that's what he does. But he's been having a pretty good run starting after the whole Jeff Jarrett MJF thing at the beginning of 2025. Right after they scrapped that feud, they've been firing on all cylinders for the better part of the last 18 months. So I think that this misstep could just be a misstep, and maybe he gets back on the horse on the road to All In, or All In may be probably the first misstep, or maybe this is a sign of things to come. We really don't know yet.
That's how it's kind of suck, you know, to be that guy. Like, you imagine, like, I mean, for me, I wake up every day, I could be thinking something different about something I thought yesterday. So like, it's kind of fucked up to put it down like, hey, maybe he's fucking cooked. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's fucked up.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. This could just be a stumble. This just could be just a misstep.
Put him on the shelf. He's fucking dead. Like, damn, I don't know. Like, you get it.
No, but he is right. I have said that before. I do think that every booker has its shelf life, but I think that like someone like a Vince McMahon was like an anomaly because he was in charge for so long. He had runs where he was really good, and he had longer runs where he was really bad. But Tony Khan, he's kind of be in a similar situation because he's head booker and no one's going to take him out of that seat unless he wants to get out of that seat. So it's very similar to Vince McMahon, where we might have to go through periods of good, periods of some mistakes.
Gotta take the good with the bad, man. Gotta take the good with the bad.
Agreed.
The bad is not even like
it's not even horrible.
No,
it's not even horrible.
Yeah. I think that's where we gotta temper our expectations, right? Like at least from my own perspective, like the bad on AEW has never been shit bad. You know what I'm saying?
No.
At least from my perspective. So, you know, like you said, it's a misstep. I don't think it's necessarily you know, this is gonna necessarily snowball. And if it does, we'll see what happens.
He's very online. Like he's catching these fucking snowballs to the face right now. Like, okay, I get it. Change something.
He now has different voices in his ear who have been producing for him in the last couple of weeks and months. So, you know, we'll see how this how it all shakes out at the end of the day.
We shall see, but let's get into the show. The buy-in, no matches announced as of yet for the buy-in, except for a night to honor and celebrate 80 years of the Rougeau family dynasty. Since AEW is in Montreal, they're going to celebrate one of the famous families of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and that is the fabulous Rougeaus. So you got that to look forward to on the buy-in. But we're going to start our predictions not on the buy-in, but also not on the main card. We're going to start it with Collision, because Collision will have some ramifications, some consequences for AEW Redemption, because on Collision, coming up on Saturday, we have 2 qualifying matches in the AEW for the AEW International Championship #1 contenders ladder match at Redemption, as it's going to be Blackheart, Lio Rush, going one-on-one with El Clone of the Don Callis family. El Clone making his return to AEW for the first time in a few months after solving his visa issue. And of course, Blackheart Lio Rush is the reigning Ring of Honor television champion. J News, who you got on Saturday? Who's moving on to Redemption?
It's got to be Lio Rush, man. Lio Rush is he's over. He's over. Just for the sake of saying it, and I know that people aren't gonna go out of their way to go be subscribers to Honor Club, but Ring of Honor TV has been really good the last couple of months. So if you want to go see some dope ass matches and stuff like that, and people working on their character and things of that nature, this is where Lio Rush is really buttering his bread right now. Yeah. Outside of the indies and stuff like that, I think it would be super interesting if AEW were to decide to bring in a Shotzi Blackheart because of what they've been doing on the indies with Lio, or what Leo's been doing with Shotzi on the indies. I think it would be hella interesting. But besides that, ROH has been cooking match wise. They've been building their quote unquote stars for the brand and stuff like that. So for this particular match, El Clone, good to see the man back. Because goddamn, those visa issues, man. Blame the government. Blame the government. Good to see him back.
Absolutely.
But Lio Rush takes this one, and he'll be a part of that ladder match.
I didn't even know what the qualifiers were.
Yeah, it's Blackheart Lio Rush versus El Clone. Who you got?
Oh man. Damn it. I would have loved to see El Clone in this, but Lio Rush has all the momentum behind him.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be Rush.
Yeah, I got Blackheart Lio Rush getting the win there as well. And then in our second qualifier, the rivalry continues. Nick Wayne goes one-on-one with AR Fox. These two men are no strangers to one another. They've been feuding ever since 2023 when AR Fox teamed up with Swerve Strickland to break into Nick Wayne, Buddy Wayne gym in his home and bloodied him with a picture, with the glass from a picture of him and his dad. Ever since then, they have fought in the ring multiple different times, including earlier this year where AR Fox beat Nick Wayne to become the new ROH World Television Champion. He has lost the title to Lio Rush since then, but who's going to Redemption in the 6-way ladder match? J News?
It's tough because I know Tony has a liking for Nick Wayne. So it's tough for me to say, not to say that he doesn't like AR Fox. AR Fox has recently been ROH TV champion. So based off of kayfabe. Fox is coming off of a win on ROH TV over Idol Angels. Strong showings on Collision. Lately, Nick Wayne hasn't necessarily been on Dynamite or Collision.
He was on Collision on Saturday.
That's right. You're right.
Against
you're right.
Jungle Jack Perry.
So true. I think they can do something there with those two. So there's that. No more Mother Wayne. I don't know where Kip Sabian's at, but it is what it is there.
Kip Sabian's contract expires this year.
We'll talk about that down the road.
R.I.P.
If I'm going with momentum, yeah.
Dude said R.I.P. Jesus.
Yeah. If I'm going with momentum, I'm going with Fox. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Nick Wayne here. I think that he had a strong showing against Jungle Jack Perry, and they're gonna want to get him back on the kind of just the stride. He's one of their young stars that I think they still see big things in the future. And he's actually gaining some muscle as well. He's gotten some muscle since being gone, especially in that Jack Perry matchup. John,
I always advocate for everyone to take at least a little juice. It's a cosmetic industry.
We are. I'm sorry to say this. Maybe not everybody agrees on our team, but me and Jimmy have been on this, so I'm glad to see, John, you're a part of the team. We are pro steroids in the wrestling business.
I'm just saying,
you can do it safely. If you can do it safely and live your life,
that's what I mean. Like, there's safe ways to do that. You don't have to become fucking Billy Graham. Like you can relax, put a little muscle on, and then keep it moving, keep life going. Like, you don't gotta get so big that you deflate yourself when you stop. Like Triple H and like 04. Remember when he got fat because he was off cycle. I'm just saying, man. People like Daniel Garcia, I feel like would be higher on the card.
You're not wrong, Willie Yuta. I'm just saying, we've been strong supporters of everyone getting on the Kyle Fletcher regimen. Everyone must get on the Kyle Fletcher regimen. Kyle Fletcher changed his life.
Mind you, Kyle's not even that beefy at the end of the day. So it's true. He's doing
it safely. Yeah, you over here doing this. There's safe ways to do it. Kyle Fletcher's
great. It's 2026. What do the Hollywood stars do? Like, what are they doing?
Now they juicing, man. But there's ways to go about this, in better ways, man. Just go eat. Increase the proteins. Like, come on now. We're talking about juicing.
It's just a little
cosmetic business, Jay knows.
I understand.
We're not telling the viewers to do it. It's beyond safe for them. We're talking about trained athletes doing it.
Yeah.
Speak to a medical professional about testosterone.
TRT, y'all.
He's gonna be doing. Them boys gonna be doing TRT in their mid-30s. That shit is a damn shame, man.
Dolores has been a member of the channel for nearly 3 years. Thank you so much, Dolores. 33 months. Appreciate you. Good seeing you in the chat. We also got Dion, who says Dom Mysterio needs to bulk up too. He says Kyle has the Randy Orton build. He does.
Not the current one, but like
no, like 2008, 2009.
Because Randy is currently addicted to Nutella, by the way, which is why he's so big.
That's why he got that gut. But we also got a super chat donation here from Dion as well, who says the difference with TK from other bookers is that he's receptive to criticism and doesn't have that ego. He will pivot if needed. And I think that's why I think as like a someone who does content creation, does podcasting, is a commenter on AEW. I feel better like expressing my criticisms of AEW, because if my criticisms are echoed or you guys agree with it, that means that this is a portion of the fan base that feels this way, and 9 times out of 10 it will get to Tony Khan. Tony Khan does his vanity searching. He does his looking online. He wants to hear what the fans are saying. And if I'm saying it, y'all are saying it, it is something that the fan base feels, and he will hear it.
Can I just say, that's why it's important that there's an authentic fan voice out there speaking about wrestling without a corporate sponsorship. I think it's important to have a real voice out there. Like, it's more important now more than ever, considering the news that came out yesterday with WWE Radio and how they basically absorbed one of the biggest wrestling podcasts in the world right now. Became theirs.
WWE Radio?
Oh my god!
On Sirius XM.
They replaced the Pro Wrestling Network, and it's going to be WWE Radio now. And now every show that was airing on that network is a part of WWE's programming.
Oh, I thought that was just people calling them WWE Radio.
Nope.
That would have been understandable.
That would have been funny, and that would have been a correct assumption.
Right.
But
yeah.
No,
it's honestly
a thing.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a revenue driving piece of business.
Yep. They're part of WWE for real, to the point where they're getting rid of AEW people that were on their show. Thunder Rosa's not on there anymore.
She hasn't been on there in a few months, but yeah,
but that's because they've been setting up. You know, they've been setting up for this shit. People, there were fans who saw Dave LaGreca like entering through the talent part of the building at a SmackDown taping recently, and they tried to ask him like, "What's up? Like, why are you here?" He wouldn't talk. Like, that's what I mean. Like, it's so important for this show right here for all of us to be able to talk about not just AEW, but to talk about fucking CMLL, to talk about New Japan, to talk about Stardom, to talk about Tokyo Joshi Pro, to talk about wrestling around the world. So yeah, hell yeah, I'm very glad that somebody like Tony Khan exists to hear a fan voice, you know, where the other places kind of block them all out. We don't need to hear that bullshit, even though they do listen, even though they do make changes based off what the fans say, even though they act like they don't. But yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Now I understand a thumbnail I saw earlier today about Triple H with the marionettes and the puppet strings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they got their hands on the media. And their shitty little podcast, those fanatic podcasts fucking suck. They're so generic. They're so fucking bland. They're sauceless. And you're listening to that shit. Like, what are Cody Rhodes and Tom Brady going to promote for me today? You're like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. The only time Cody Rhodes' podcast is interesting is when he's burying his own friends. Like, get that shit out of here. This is real. This is the real shit. This is the reason that we created this channel. Like, J News can attest, we would talk about wrestling long before this channel existed, and we always used to talk about when it comes to podcasting. We had a friend, I think I brought him up the other day, Roy, who was the first person who put me on to Busted Open Radio. And I was just like, I would listen to it whenever he would send me stuff, and I would be like, it's a very pro WWE podcast. This is it. And then when I would look on YouTube, it was like the woke cultures of the world, the wrestle talks of the world. The two things that I wanted this channel to be is represent people that aren't white, that like professional wrestling, and two, to talk about professional wrestling outside of WWE, because that's what it was dominated by before, you know, the likes of ourselves, the likes of Grap City, Public Enemies podcast all came out in like the last couple of years. It was dominated by white males talking about WWE. That's what the whole wrestling media game was really about, and the content creation world of it was all about. So I'm glad that we could be examples of it, and I'm glad that we're still around today, considering that WWE is trying to take up any big outlet out there that they can talk about just them and just shut out the rest of the whole business. You'll never get us. I'll be on pirate radio before you shut me down, Triple H. You can't own me.
and no, Matthew Hooks, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that the white community don't have to like us or can't enjoy us. I'm saying that the wrestling content creation world was dominated by white guys talking about WWE.
Which is technically a compliment. You guys had the game on lock. You just wanted a little piece.
They barely let women in too, man. They barely let women in too.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of women. That's why we made sure, like when we first started, we wanted a female host. Then when we met Chrissy, she's been a big part of this channel. And we've met the likes of Sunal and Maggie and, you know, all the great women in the wrestling media game that we've had on the channel. Like there wasn't enough representation for people outside of just white males in when it came to content creation. So I'm glad to be around, and I'm glad that WWE ain't sniffing around here or anywhere else that I work. We got Power Jack Finisher who says wrestling podcasts stopped being interesting a while back. Now they are not worth any new information or any new fun stories.
You guys missed out on the shoot interview era, man. I grew up watching shoot. I grew up a fucking wolfing down shoot interviews. I would sit down for 4 hours and watch a motherfucker in a room with no clips, no edits, no nothing. We were just sitting there and he was talking for 4 hours. We were listening to Shawn Michaels talking about fucking doing drugs and shit. Like those were the days. Shoot interviews are dead now, unfortunately, because of the podcast. But man, I miss those days.
Those were the good old days. Those were the good old days. All right, let's get back to the predictions here. So we did the qualifying matches. Who was your pick for Nick Wayne versus AR Fox, John?
Nick Wayne is going to win, but there's another situation where I was like, fuck, I really would have liked to see AR Fox in this ladder match. God damn it.
That's why I picked Fox, man. Fox got the notebook, man. Fox got the notebook, and he finna take that shit out. Man,
he wrote it too, and he don't even write on the lines. He's just saying, "What is this? What does this say?"
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know.
For a thrown together matchup, this has all the makings to be a show stealer.
It's going to be the
card.
Yeah,
AEW International Championship #1 contender 6-way ladder match. You got Jungle, huh?
You know what though? I didn't see that it was Beast Mortos and Commander on the team. Like, that's not even right if you don't put El Clone. Like, he's the one guy in the Visa crew who doesn't get to be in the ladder match.
The Visa crew is hilarious. Jungle Jack Perry, Speedball Mike Bailey, the Beast Mortos Commander, and the winners of the qualifying matches on Collision. The winner will get a shot at the International Championship after Redemption. They did not say All In, they just said after Redemption. So in this one, I think that it's a toss-up. There's 3 people I think it's a toss-up between. I think Jungle Jack Perry, coming off of re-signing with the company and the kind of the push that he's getting right now, he could be one to win this matchup. Speedball Mike Bailey is, of course, in Montreal, and that would be great for him to get a big win in his home country. I'm going with the Beast Mortos because I think that the winner of this matchup is facing Kyle Fletcher in Arena, Mexico. So I think that it should be one of the Visa crew who win.
That's a really good point. I hadn't thought of Grand Slam. Now that you mentioned Grand Slam, I would also go with Beast Mortos just because that'd be a fucking sick match, and I'm gonna be there. So I want to see that. Beast Mortos needs to win.
He's here for it. J News.
Damn, man, I wish you didn't bring that up.
I hate when you make good points, nigga.
You didn't bring that up. The reason that's why I'm saying this because I was going to go with Mike Bailey at the end of the day because of what you said. It's in Montreal, the big moment. I mean, for all intents and purposes, you still could do it. You still could go with Mike Bailey and just have him go up against Kyle on a Dynamite or whatever the case is, and then build another match to. No, they can't do that, right? Because Grand Slam's the week after.
Yeah,
so have to be that. Yeah, they just got one Dynamite before Grand Slam.
I mean, they could, and then just have Andrade do the match versus Kyle at Grand Slam.
I think that
I would do Andrade and Kenny at Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. So yeah. I'm gonna stick with Mike. Just for the moment of it.
I had a thought too before he mentioned Grand Slam that I was thinking Mike Bailey getting back involved with the Don Callis family would at least put him in Kevin Knight's radar, like his fucking his circumference.
I'm really surprised they're doing this matchup here because I thought that coming out of Redemption, probably the best thing to do for the TNT title at All In would be like a multi-man ladder match. Because Kevin has kind of started things with multiple people, whether it's Darby, Speedball. You could put Jack Perry in there. Like he could have had like multiple challengers and been like a show stealer on that card in a multi-man ladder match for the TNT title.
If it was me, I could kill a couple of birds with one stone by giving Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight the next 4 weeks, and then they just have a singles match at All In. And then Kevin Knight's happy, and Mike Bailey's happy, and all the fans are happy that Mike Bailey was on TV featured. Everybody wins.
But then what does Darby do at All In?
Darby's got options though. Darby's a top guy. You insert Darby with. I don't want Darby with Kevin Knight at All In. Honestly, let's get this shit over with. Like, why is he in the team? Like, what the fuck? You know?
I honestly, months ago, I suggested Darby and Swerve at All In.
Shit, that's a good. That works. That works for me. That works. That's top tier shit.
I think they'll go with Darby and Swerve unless something else happens at this point. And yeah,
give them a stip. Let them steal the fucking show. They're both from Washington. They got some stuff built in there. They've wrestled before. They
were in that casket match at the first Wembley show. Hit them and Darby and Sting versus Swerve and Christian.
That's AR Fox. That was AR Fox's.
That was the demise of AR Fox on AEW television.
He had to build himself from the ground back up. He's lucky they didn't fire him though.
And people were asking why he got so emotional about the ROH TV title. And I was like, nigga, he ain't never thought he was gonna get any type of title in this company again.
Yo, I never. Can you give me a quick overview of that? I never understood what happened at AR Fox.
Bro, they booked him to be at All In London. Okay, right. AR Fox has worked so hard. They got that big spot. He's gonna be at All In London with Sting and Christian and Swerve. He waited till like 2 or 3 weeks before the show, and he's like, "Hey, Tony, I don't got a visa."
That's what it was. Okay, I thought I heard that, but I forgot what it was.
This show is in 2 weeks. Why are you telling me this right now?
From a business standpoint, I thought legal handled that for them, or they have to do it on their own.
But you gotta have a passport.
You gotta let them know. You gotta tell them.
He didn't have a passport. He didn't even have a passport. He's like, I never traveled. I never left the country before. Oh my god! And in the normal situation, he would have been fired. And for some reason, they granted him the grace to remain employed all this time, long enough to build himself back to a point where they trusted him with a championship. So yeah, I would have cried too. For that.
He had his redemption. He had it.
Exactly. That was his redemption. He already got his redemption. He don't need to be on this show. We got a double chain matchup. We're going to see the Dogs and the Bang Bang Gang come to a head in Montreal, as it will be David Finlay and Clark Connors teaming up to face the Bang Bang Gang, Switchblade Jay White and Rock Hard Juice Robinson in a double chain matchup. At Forbidden Door, it was Switchblade Jay White who made his return to AEW, costing the Dogs their AEW World Tag Team Championship matchup against Cope and Cage. Over the next couple of weeks, we've seen these teams going back and forth, whether it was physically with the Dogs and the Death Riders jumping Cope and the Bang Bang Gang, whether it was Switchblade Jay White stealing David Finlay's shillelagh when he tried to hit Christian Cage with it. We've seen them verbally joust with one another, as the Bang Bang Gang basically did an adopting dogs promo where they named the dogs after Clark and David, while Clark and David had a public service announcement that told people to put the guns down. So these two teams have been funny. They've been intense. It's gotten heated. And this past week, we saw David Finlay knock out Jay White with the shillelagh following his win over Clark Connors on Dynamite, which led to Juice Robinson making the challenge for a double chain match at Redemption. This should be a good one. Unfortunately, I really want to go with the Dogs here. because I think that this is a prelude to the David Finlay Jay White matchup at All In, and that matchup should be won by Jay White so he can move on and get to bigger and better things in AEW. So I would want the Dogs to win here because it would be a credibility building win for them. Unfortunately, AEW has given me no confidence whatsoever that the Dogs can win on pay-per-view. So I am going with the Bang Bang Gang. John.
I was of the mindset that they were going to have a Jay White singles match at the pay-per-view at All In too. But then I saw him on Wednesday and I was like, maybe we give him a little while to get back into.
He had some ring rust. This is the first match in like 2 years.
Yeah, so let's give him a little bit before we'll see what happens there. But
he's back into shape. You know, he don't have the 18 pack right now. He only got 6.
He only has normal abs right now, so you know something's off. But I want the Dogs to win. Like I need them to get this win on pay-per-view because it'd be good for them. And because if they're gonna lose, if he's gonna lose at the pay-per-view anyway, the big show, then why the fuck not? You know, why not? They need the win anyway. Fucking Gabe Kidd is in Japan right now, doing the G1, representing the Dogs, and then Death Riders, which is like he's got the air horn on his music and all that shit. I don't know. I feel like if he's over there having a moment of significance, why are the Dogs over here being jobbers? You know, they should be. By the
way, Gabe Kidd is also part of the Visa crew.
He is. That's right.
But he's free. He's free now. He's free to come back when the G1 is over. So we'll see him in something at probably at Wembley. But we got more to discuss from this show. Another stipulation match, a grudge match on this show. We'll see the return of the greatest gimmick of all time. The greatest iteration of one of the biggest legends in pro wrestling history. Time to talk about the Painmaker!
The
Painmaker! Chris Jericho will go one-on-one with the Psycho Killer, Tommaso Ciampa, no holds barred. These two men have been at each other's throats ever since Tommaso Ciampa attacked Chris Jericho after his victory over Ricochet on the Dynamite following Forbidden Door. He's been at his throat, beating him down at every turn. Following Double or Nothing, excuse me. He beat him in their first one-on-one matchup at Beach Break using sand in his eyes, and Jericho wasn't pleased with that, so he wanted a rematch, and this time he's going to bring the most evil, downright brutal side of his persona, the Painmaker. And Ciampa says that he can't wait to prove to the world yet again why he is better than Jericho. J News, what have you thought about this rivalry between Jericho and Ciampa, and who wins, Painmaker versus Psycho Killer this Sunday?
So before anything, because I didn't get to mention my pick for the Dogs versus the Bang Bang Gang.
My apologies.
No, it's fine. I'm with John. I'm going with the Dogs here. At the end of the day, that makes the most sense. I've loved the build to this. I think those guys, they all get it. To your point, they're funny when they need to be funny. They're intense when they need to be intense. Clark Connors had his best match on AEW TV just the other day. So, but with Jay White on Dynamite, like, give them credit. For all intents and purposes, I've seen some chatter about Jay White and all this other stuff. Yes, he's rounding back into shape. Like I said, if he's not the best counter and defensive wrestler on the planet, I don't know who is. Like, for him to come out of that, when Clark was going for that spear and he hit him in that guillotine, I was like, I've never seen that, or I've lapsed it, never seen it in a wrestling match before. And I was like, that's spectacular. And then now his new submission finisher, A1. Now, to this match, the Jericho versus Tommaso Ciampa versus Chris Jericho. Dare I say, this has also been well built. Now, ask me if I care about Chris Jericho being Painmaker. That's another thing altogether. Sir, I get what this version of Jericho is. He's playing the hits, depending as to where he wants to play it. Granted, I got you, Chris. We're following along on the story here. The Painmaker gimmick character, though, that that only really worked in Japan, and not even for that long.
And not even that well.
I was gonna say I don't. Yeah.
So there's that of it. Tommaso, I think we can all agree that Tommaso Ciampa has been a breath of fresh air on AEW television. That he's been great since coming to AEW, and whatever he's been doing has been gold in my mind. I don't know what he does after this. You know, once
he's got to be in line for a championship. That's why I said I wish they would have done a multi-man ladder match for the TNT title, because he would have made sense in that mix as well. Yeah, man. But the Jericho vortex is still a thing at the end of the day. Yeah. Him being caught in this doesn't give me. He needs to get the F out of there after this pay-per-view. If he's still stuck in it by All In, God knows how long he's going to be stuck in. Yeah, it doesn't give me the foresight as to where Ciampa's going to go. I will admit, though, I'm not as tired of Jericho as I was previously, because they're doing it in spurts now, which I think is the best way to go about it, for him being on TV and being featured. I just don't necessarily know how this match is going to go. You know what I'm saying? Their first match was good. Yeah, their matches have been the matches have been fine. Their interactions, like I said, the video packages, the promos, they've all worked. Don't get me wrong. It's just like, how does this match end? And why does the ending of this match matter for All In? Let's just say, right? Because it's their big show. It's AEW. And Jericho's going to be in a big match. He's going to have a match. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know how this is going to go per se. So. Not to say that predictability is great all the time with wrestling matches, but in this case, it's like I just want something else for Tommaso Ciampa. You know? Fair. John?
I think I'm not really on the same page with everybody as far as the Chris Jericho thing. The Painmaker thing I actually am, but they played that video package on Wednesday, and it wasn't that it made me get it, but I was like, yeah, you know what? He's gonna get in there. He's gonna do some fucking hardcore match spots like that. That's what we're signaling. And as far as that, that's fine. It's whatever. The match is gonna be good, which is ultimately what I end up being worried about in the end. Where like his run since he's come back, excuse me, in the ring has been just fine. The matches with Ricochet, the match with Ciampa. Ciampa cheated and won last time, so I imagine Jericho's gonna get his revenge now. I don't know what they're gonna do with Jericho or Ciampa after this. I don't think they need to continue, but it's also only been 2 matches. I'm kind of worried they're gonna want to do a rubber match. It's just like I mean, fuck you. I figure you're taking it as far as they can go with this stipulation right here. Like, what are they gonna do? Fucking. Lights out death match or whatever. Like, no, Jericho's old. So I know he had advertised something a while ago where he was like he's going to be performing live at Wembley as Fozzy or something. So get your tickets now. So I was like, because they have that Welcome to Wembley fan event. At the show before the 2 days before All In, they're doing like a fan fest. Mm-hmm. He's definitely gonna be involved in something. I hope it's not a Ciampa match, just because I want to see Ciampa do something new. Like, this is fine. Like, I just want to move on. Like now, like see Jericho do something new, see Ciampa do something new. Maybe that's just the human nature. We want new shit all the time. But I don't know. I feel like we're done here. Yeah, we've exhausted this matchup for as much as we can. For sure. But again, the match is gonna be fine. Fucking Jericho and his old man ideas. I mean, when he first talked about making the Painmaker, it didn't make sense. Well, I know I'm going to Japan and I know they want something different, so I made myself the Painmaker. It's like, yeah, you're thinking 1989. Like, today they just want to see the effort. You want to see the art. You would have been fine just having the match. But that's why I was surprised that to this day, he's still like, trust me, it's Paymaker shit.
I know what I'm doing here, guys.
I'm getting into my dark place right now. I'm painting my face.
He was like, this is the American version of the Great Muta.
You know what, Gramps? It's fine. It's not. You know what? We'll leave you. We'll leave you to do your thing.
do your thing. Yeah, we can just leave you over here. But yeah, I'm going with. I want Ciampa to win, but I know Jericho's winning, so I'm gonna go with Jericho. For the AEW TBS Championship, it will be Maya World challenging the new champion Hikaru Shida. It was Hikaru Shida who won the title on the July 1st edition of AEW Dynamite in a survival of the fittest. Since then, she has successfully defended her title against Harley Cameron and Queen Aminata. After the matchup with Aminata, she attacked her on Collision last Saturday, and it was Maya World who came out to make the save, thus setting the stage for this title match. Maya World is coming off the heels of her big time performance at Forbidden Door against Mercedes Moné in the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament Finals, and now she looks to win her first title in AEW. Can Maya World do it? Can she get her redemption from losing at Forbidden Door? John?
No. Not today. I don't know. It makes if it was me, I would have went Maya just for the sake of give it a moment. Maya World had a lot of momentum going behind her. She did lose at the end of the tournament, but we should show that she's still good enough to hang with them by giving her a title and then putting her in a real feud with Shida rather than the I guess she just kind of challenged her for the belt. No, they're doing it on pay-per-view. And that's fine if you're gonna actually start a feud like that. Many feuds have started with the match and then some shit happens at the end and I want you dead. So you could definitely do something like that. I just don't. I feel like they put a lot of effort into building Shida since her return to winning this title. So I don't know if they're gonna take it off her immediately. But they could, but I don't see it. I'm just gonna go Shida.
J News?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Shida as well. Just because what John said is true. It seems like they're spending a lot of time on propping Shida up. The best is Shida. She is the TBS champion at the end of the day. So they've been spotlighting her quite a bit. Not that they haven't been spotlighting Maya, they have been, but I think they are they're shaping Maya up for something different at the end of the day. And Mr. Bonda just mentioned it. I think they're going to have Maya take that belt off of Athena and over on ROH, and she'll be starring over there, which isn't a bad place to be because at the end of the day, that's how Athena got as popular as she has. She's taken that brand and she's put it on her back. So if Maya World can do the same, more power to her at the end of the day. So there's that. It should be a good match, even though I've always had issues with Hikaru Shida matches in recent times. Glancing blows and not enough snugness.
Yeah.
They need to be snug. But tis what it is. I expect it to be a good to decent match, or decent to good match, should I say. And Shida retains here. As per what she does going into All In, that's a question. I think that has to be answered after TK decides what he's going to do with whoever he decides to sign from these free agent people who are out there at the end of it. So I think that's what that's leading into. And not for nothing, I miss Chris Statlander, so I want her back on my TV. So that's always a thing.
I actually didn't. I didn't consider that. I didn't think about because I was thinking like if they debut people at the show and let's say they got Kyrie, what the fuck are we doing with Kyrie? She's not going to show up for Thekla or Willow. No. I didn't think of Shida.
She could come out for Thekla after she the title.
Yeah, I know that's kind of weird, right? She's just like Thekla's dead in the ring. Like, so Willow has to celebrate and then leave, and then Thekla gets the ring for some reason, and then Kyrie gets it. So like, I couldn't structure it. Like, I couldn't figure it out. But when you said now with Shida, I was just like,
that makes sense.
That's it.
It makes all sense. So, you know, if like you said, it could be a Kyrie, it could be whoever. There's a depth of women.
Please no. Like there's that list of people that they released of the girls in that list who could possibly show up. Please just let's just stop it at Kyrie. Like, I don't want Zoe Starks to come out and challenge.
I'm okay. I like Kaylee.
I'm sorry,
Ray.
Man. Oh, that's right. Yeah. I mean, but she's. There's a thing Tony Khan said long ago when he first signed Rusev that I felt like makes a lot of sense, and he should stick with that forever, even though it didn't turn out well with Rusev. But the idea that this guy was a fucking jobber on WWE TV. Why would I bring him onto my television show and have him dominate my people? Like, we need to rebuild you. We need to show the people you're a monster again. So, like, I like Kaylee Ray a lot, but she was just a jobber. Like, I don't want her coming in and being like, I've got the Wembley match. Like,
no, I would bring her in and probably build her up on ROH. She's a good challenger for Athena or Maya for the.
She's got Isla Dawn down there too. They can be together.
They can reshuffle.
You can actually bolster your tag team division and put Isla and Kaylee Ray back together.
That actually works really well because they need tag teams.
They have tag teams. It's just that he doesn't. It is. He what just it is.
Doesn't feature them at all. Like he signed. He signed. I know for a fact he signed Inspiration to a pretty penny just for them to work the Jacksonville tapings of ROH.
And I think that's why he signed them.
Tokyo Joshi Pro as well, or whatever. But Mr. Bonda and Matthew, they mentioned the name that I like, that I've been saying for months, Danny Luna. I'm not too sure if she's past her personal stuff at this point and wants to come back stateside, but that's another name I've been wanting to join AEW for a while now. So, you know, it could be whatever, but I think that's where Shida's heading. Whoever he decides to sign will be next up in line or whatever the case is. So, yeah.
And if I said they're fine where they are, keep them the fuck away from my TV screen on Dynamite, then what?
Wow, this guy's outrageous.
If he doesn't sign anybody, like I said,
I mean the Inspiration. They were talking about the Inspiration. Leave them where they are. I'm sorry, man.
Wrong. Another title match you know what? F y'all. I'm gonna be the brave one. Maya World for the win. Maya needs to win. To pull the trigger on her, get the title on her, and give me title for title, TBS Championship, ROH Women's World Championship at All In, Athena and Maya World.
That'd be big. That'd be real big.
Then we got for the AEW National Championship, Mark Davis, Dunkzilla will defend against Andrade El Idolo. At AEW X NJPW Forbidden Door, it was Death's Door where the Don Callis family and MJF lost the matchup because of Andrade turning on Max as well as the rest of the Don Callis family, wearing his fuck Don and fuck MJF shirt and leaving them in a bind as they lost the steel cage matchup. Then from there, the Don Callis family started targeting Andrade, attacking him, which led to Andrade picking up a win against Brian Cage. He confronted the Don Callis family and said that he was going to take some championship gold from the group, which led to Callis putting him against Jake Doyle. And if he won, he would get a shot at Mark Davis for the national championship. Last week on Dynamite, Andrade did pick up that victory, but on Collision, Mark Davis showed off his power against Andrade, choking him out and laying him out backstage in Boston. And then this week on Dynamite, after Bandito picked up a win against Proto Kata, Mark Davis and the rest of the family confronted Bandito and Brody King until Andrade came out to make the save and even the odds. And will MJF's stolen Dynamite Diamond Ring be a factor in this matchup? I think, yes, it will. And Andrade will be your new national champion. J News?
I agree with you, man. There's just something to say about momentum at this point. He'll use that ring to screw over Mark Davis. Mark Davis has had a hell of a year. His reward was the national championship. I hate to say it, not hate to say it because me and Dion aren't on the same page a lot of time, but Dion's right. I think once Andrade takes the belt off of Davis here, he goes back to teaming with Doyle. So because that tag team, they can do something.
Yeah,
they can do something. So I'm excited to see as to what happens there, and then Andrade can take that national championship win and turn it into hopefully a world title opportunity at Grand Slam Mexico at the end of the day. So, that's where I'm at with it. He's got all the momentum in the world. I want to ask the both of y'all this. I might be making something out of nothing at the end of the day because, friends do favors for one another whenever. But did you take anything away from the fact that Andrade El Idolo made a cameo in Zelina Vega's little promo video that she did after her 90-day was up?
I saw that and I just decided to ignore it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I was hoping that he was just doing her a little favor
Solid, right?
or whatever. Yeah. Because, I mean, he's past that point. He does not need no fucking Zelina Vega nowhere. And she's probably gonna be with Aleister Black or whatever. They'll go together, go to MLW and do their thing.
There you go. Perfect. John, who you got, Andrade or Davis?
I'm so confused, man. I am like, why? What? Okay, so I know MJF's injured. Andrade can't really be involved with him right now. But like the national championship on pay-per-view is such a weird place to be before assuming that he's gonna have a big match at Grand Slam and then whatever they do at Wembley. I was just like, oh, he's gonna fight Mark Davis on pay-per-view. I mean, it's a good match. It's just a strange decision. Like, we're just gonna give him the national championship. What does this belt fucking exist? I mean, it kind of seems like they want people to have titles before they challenge for the world title. Like, is this?
Yeah, they only want champions to challenge for the AEW World Champion.
But like, okay, if that's the case, then establish that on television so that I can understand that when a person wins a lower card belt, that puts them in line for a world championship. Because
I understand that he is like, because when we had him on In the Weeds during the 24-hour stream, he was like talking about how WCW used to have a lot of titles because Jeremy asked him about all the championships in AEW, and he was talking about how WCW used to have like the US Championship, the Cruiserweight Championship, they had a bunch of mid-card titles, had the World Heavyweight Championship, had the Tag Team Championships. So he basically, it sounded to me like he is modeling that after like WCW as well as New Japan having so many titles that he can make for big time matches on TV. I understand all of that, but in WCW, the difference is there was an established kind of in kayfabe that the U.S. champion was one of the top contenders for the AEW World Championship. Commentary said that on multiple occasions. That's never been said about any of the mid-card titles in AEW.
Like I said, if they fucking Tony Khan says this shit on television, it's just as simple as just saying it. Like just having someone announce it, or having a wrestler mention it in a promo. I got this belt now that puts me in line for a world championship. That actually makes the titles make sense. Even that actually gives them a reason to exist. So I don't know. But these are the things I'm talking about. These are the missing flavors. Like, okay, we're cooking and we're missing spices and shit. Like.
You're absolutely right. Like, it's always a missing ingredient, and it's a very important detail that they seem to be missing on a lot of their stories that they tell. Here we are. So we're all going with pretty much, it seems, we're all going with Andrade for that matchup. Also in the Don Callis family is the AEW International Champion, as Kyle Fletcher will defend against Bandido. Bandido stepped up to Kyle Fletcher, interrupting his interview with Renee Paquette backstage 2 weeks ago after him and Brody King picked up a victory in tag team action. Kyle Fletcher went on to defeat Commander. After the matchup, he looked to unmask the luchador until Konosuke Takeshita came out to make the save. Takeshita got the better of him until Kazuchika Okada came out and laid him out. But just as Okada and Fletcher were staring down, holding the International Championship, it was Bandido who came out and fought them off, leading to them bailing from the ring. After the matchup, Kyle Fletcher challenged Bandido for the International Championship, saying that he doesn't care who he has to face, he will face and beat anyone for the International Championship, including Bandido. But it was Bandido who beat Kyle Fletcher, pinning him on this week's Dynamite as Bandido defeated Proto-Kata. Can Kyle Fletcher get over all the drama that's going on right now with the Don Callis family and his growing tension with Kevin Knight to retain the International Championship? Or would Bandido take advantage of the fact that Fletcher has put an everyone banned from ringside stipulation on this matchup to become a double champion? It's Bandido on pay-per-view. He's losing. I'm going with Kyle Fletcher. J News.
That's a sad state of affairs.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah, it is. Very much so.
That has to stop at some point. And for all intents and purposes, I can't disagree with you. Just because of where they're heading storyline-wise with Kyle and Okada and Kevin Knight and stuff like that. If you want to throw Takeshita in there as well, you could do that. So, I wouldn't mind one of those four-way matches, but I don't know if they're going to want to do that at All In. But hey, tis what it is. It'll be a spectacular match. We know this for certain with the two talents involved. I just want Bandido to have a high-stakes, high-profile match come Grand Slam Mexico at the end of the day. So as long as he still looks like $1 million coming out of this match, which I'm sure he will, him getting a moment at Grand Slam Mexico makes all the sense in the world. So, but yeah, Kyle wins this and he retains.
John?
Yeah, Bandido is going to take another loss here, another high-profile loss. And as good as those can be for someone's career in the beginning, he's past that now. I think you're just kind of piling up the losses now. The way to get out of this one is quite simple, though. There's just start Bandido's next rivalry right here, right now, at the end of this match. And now you don't have to worry about him taking a clean loss because that's harmful at this point. And then Kyle Fletcher can move on to whatever he has going on. And it doesn't matter if Kyle Fletcher's a heel and doesn't need someone to do that for him. It's not about Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher is handled. He's situated. He doesn't have anything to worry about. It's Bandido that has something to worry about. They need to figure out where to place him on this card. And this is another match that got put together in 2 weeks because we were supposed to do Mystico, but he is injured and we didn't know that. now we gotta go with Bandido instead. So and this is the same thing that happened with Bandido at Revolution, isn't it? Or not Revolution. When did they do it is Revolution. Yeah, where they just slotted him in with Moxley because we were supposed to do something else.
No, that was Forbidden Door.
Forbidden
Door.
There you go. Yeah. Which is, I get it. Like Bandido was stepped up when we needed him to, yeah.
Hopefully he gets something on the back end. I mean, it happened for Mark Davis, so there's a precedent there. So
it's something they do. It's history says when you're there for them and they need to pivot and you're the guy who stepped in, they go with you afterwards. Like they're like, we're gonna give you something. But holy fuck, man, Bandido.
it's starting to hurt his credibility when we look at him. So that's when it's becoming a problem. So, I mean, I hope they can figure it out because Bandido, I think it was Power Driver Finisher said in the chat, last year he was a Wrestler of the Year candidate. And now, these losses have kind of affected how people view him. His year overall too. So Oh, well, we'll see what happens on Sunday. This should be one of the best matches on the entire show. These are two of the best in-ring performers in the company, so I expect this to be a show stealer for sure. One match that I don't see a lot of people very excited for on this Sunday's card is for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, as Cage and Cope will defend the championships against the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli and Pac. 2 weeks ago on Dynamite, it was Cage and Cope defending the titles against the Death Riders, Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia. They beat them and retained the titles. This came just a week after the Death Riders teamed up with the Dogs to jump Cope and the Bang Bang Gang. After the matchup, after their win and retaining the titles, it was Claudio who once again attacked Cage and Cope along with the Dogs. This led to Cage and Cope challenging the Death Riders for a tag team title match at Redemption. And then this past week on Dynamite, it was Pac who cut a promo as he and Claudio jumped Cage and Cope backstage, sending a message to the champions ahead of the title match. One of the most we didn't have enough time, we're doing our homework in homeroom type of matches that I've seen AEW put on a pay-per-view in quite some time. It's been a long time since this kind of like piss poor matchup where I haven't heard anyone who wants to see this matchup, even though I think it's going to be very good. I think if all things work to his favor, Claudio's great, Pac is great, Cage and Cope have been really good since they reunited. I think it's going to be a very good matchup. Just no one wants to see it. J News.
Yeah, man. It was this is haphazardly put together at the end of the day. That's why I said it was 50-50 with this entire show. They put the effort into some, but not all. And this is one of the ones they didn't put any effort into. More than obvious, CNC retained here. Are they building towards CNC versus the Bucks? Is that the deal?
Yeah, they're definitely building towards that. The only question is if it's just going to be 2-on-2 or it's going to be with FTR.
Does FTR have a say? Does the New Day, whatever iteration of them, have a say in about 2 weeks' time? Do the Motor City Machine Guns have a say? If people don't like, this is a question, right? Because at the end of the day, the tag team division in AEW is stacked to begin with before the New Day and the Motor City Machine Guns. They just don't get used very well. Now, add two of the premium tag teams that have been in the WWE universe for all these years, add them to the AEW roster, and it's like, what else do you do for All In? It's going to be a big show anyway at the end of the day. So can it be a multi-tag team match? Does FTR come back like you were saying, SP3? Do they come back? Are they gone? Who knows at this point, So, but yeah, CNC wins here. I want different, not saying better, but I want different for Pac and Claudio. I just don't necessarily know where per se, on the card, should I say, but something different that isn't necessarily this. So yeah, not really much looking forward to from my behalf there.
I'm going with Cage and Cope to retain. I mean, there's no question there. John, what have you thought about this match being put together and who wins on Sunday?
It's just random. It's just my biggest issue with it. Like, there's no, like, what the fuck? Why? When did Pac and Claudio get in line for a tag title shot? So that's my biggest thing. I don't mind that Edge is the champion. I don't care that he's with Christian tagging. They do good work. This will be a good match. But I'm just like, what? They're tag team champions. They should be fighting tag teams. The guns are there. The guns work in this company. There's tag teams that work here. Why the fuck are we randomly teaming Claudio and Pac? Like, just because they're in a faction together, they usually team as a trios. They're not even a tag team. Like, this is that's my biggest issue with it. This is a fucking waste of time. Really, we're wasting my time, wasting Edge's time. What are we doing here? So yeah, I mean, maybe FTR comes back tonight and beats their ass in Canada or something. Yeah, or not tonight, Sunday. But yeah, that's my thing. I don't give a fuck about this match.
We got Dion who says everyone talks about Cage Cope, Bucks, and FTR having a three-way match, comparing it to the TLC matches. But the thing is, those three teams had different combinations of matches leading up to the TLC matches. Yeah,
that did happen. Yes, it did.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, for sure. Look, at the end of the day, like to John's point, to SP3's point, to my point as well, like this was just thrown together, and there's no investment in it at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
So,
people are already thinking about what's next.
What's next?
Really?
So
yeah.
That's
but there have been different combinations of the matches. The only combination of these three teams that we haven't seen is Cage and Cope and the Bucks. But we've seen the Bucks and FTR. We've seen FTR and Cage and Cope. They've been building to this matchup for the last couple since Revolution. This has been the matchup that they have been building to.
They weren't going to be able to do that kind of build with Edge and Christian. Come on, man. They don't have multiple of ladder matches and shit like that in them. They got one. They're holding on to it.
Exactly.
To answer Chuck Berry's, he said that is the Motor City Machine Guns 90-day over. It was over last week.
Yesterday. No, yesterday.
Oh, yesterday, my bad. Yeah. They made a video in the whole nine or whatever the case is. They should be at Dynamite on Wednesday, if not for Redemption at the end of the day. So we'll be seeing them soon. And like most people believe, the New Day will probably be at All In, if anything, or debut there or whatever the case is, and all
or
that
ahead of All In if they want to put
or a little bit ahead of it and all that. So I'm awaiting that. I'm anticipating that. So
I would hold on to them. I mean,
I would wait for All In. I would wait.
I would wait for All In too. Yeah.
But I would actually build it up. I would probably do like vignettes building it up. Like just mysterious vignettes, and it's just like a sunrise coming up.
With rainbow?
Yeah. No. First one is the sun rising, and then that's it. Then the next one is like a bird flying and chirping, and then you just see some color show up in the sky. And then the third one is the full rainbow forming, and then you see this like AI version of a unicorn. And that's on the go home ahead of All In. That's the last video.
The Young Bucks just find a trombone in their locker room. You know.
Oh, each of the teams finds something that they find a trombone. Fucking a coping Cage. Cage finds some pancakes and it's like, what's this?
What the fuck? Is this because we're Canadian? Is this racist?
I don't have any maple syrup, damn it.
It's the next day.
What does
Someone
FTR
said in the
find?
comments.
We got trumpets. We got someone has to find the unicorn. Bootios, yeah. Some cereal bowls. No, it's just cereal bowls. You can't show the bootios. So it's cereal bowls.
As long as they don't like this, they've been building towards this Bucks FTR Edge and Christian three-way all year long. Like, do not have some restraint and do not put Motor City and New Day in this shit. Like, they don't need to be involved in this shit, you know? Like, but then what does Motor City do at this show? Like they come back.
You kind of have to put them in there.
They can do something. They're gonna have to do something. You gotta find something. You've got other tag teams, bro. You're gonna have to find something. You don't even have a traditional tag match on the show. Like, so do a fucking tag match.
Motor City Machine Guns versus Rascals.
No, guns versus guns. Like, you've got the guns. They left, they got injured and all that shit. They came back and now they're just like salad dressing for Jay White. That's when they announced Jay White and Juice versus the Dogs, I was like, all right, well, that makes sense story-wise, but like in real life, that's mad funny. Like, you guys have a tag team in your faction. We would have sent the tag team. I would send the tag team to deal with you. This is tag team action. This is their specialty. They're brothers. They came up together, you know. It's whatever.
Hey, to each his own. All right, now it's time to get in the nitty gritty, what I call the three big matches. And honestly, I think I would have gone like 6, 5.5, maybe a 5 out of 10 for this card if they did not announce this matchup on Collision last Saturday. It will be tag team action as the Young Bucks Matt and Nick Jackson will go up against the Death Riders, Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley. Ever since Forbidden Door, Moxley and Ospreay have been killing it in tag team action. Ospreay showing off his skills ahead of Wembley Stadium and the main event of All In, while Jon Moxley still the Continental Champion. They've been undefeated in 2-on-2 tag team action since Ospreay joined the Death Riders. Meanwhile, the Young Bucks have been on a roll in tag team competition, been looking to get themselves back into the tag team title picture. And they found themselves celebrating the win of Kenny Omega on the week after Beach Break, giving him the rightful AEW World Championship. Out came Will Ospreay, who asked the Bucks to leave so he could talk to Omega one-on-one. Of course, Ospreay has plenty of history with the Young Bucks, especially dating back to last year's All In Texas, where he teamed with Swerve Strickland to dethrone the Young Bucks as EVPs of AEW. Meanwhile, Jon Moxley and the Young Bucks have their own distorted history through the past of AEW, whether it was Moxley and Kingston versus the Young Bucks at Double or Nothing 2021, whether it was Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite in 2023, or whether it was them working together last year as the Young Bucks worked closely with the Death Riders on the road to All In and coming out of All In as well. So they know Moxley and Ospreay better than Omega does, and they feel like he can't trust either one of them on the road to All In, and they're going to show that by beating them at Redemption. Who wins on Sunday in this dream tag team matchup? Jay News.
I got the Bucks winning. I think Mr. Bonda or somebody else put it in the chat or whatever the case is. The Bucks win. They pin Mox because you can't pin Will in this case, and they go on and they do the damn thing. Now, as per the expectation of the match, it's all for whatever reason. This is my own opinion. This all depends on Mox. How this match goes depends on Mox. If it's going to be good or if it's going to be mid, it all depends on Mox. So I just have high hopes for this. I just hope that Mox is on his horse for this match. That's all.
There we go. John, what about you?
This is going to be some shit. This is going to be some shit. Young Bucks are the Young Bucks, one of the greatest tag teams to ever slap hands on the side of that ring. Moxley is Moxley, Ospreay is Ospreay. This is one of those high level, everyone involved is fucking top tier tag matches that I love to watch. This is the match I'm looking forward to the most on the card. I highly expect this to be the match of the night, and I just can't wait to see it. As far as like the idea that the Young Bucks don't trust Moxley and Ospreay, and so they want to have this match to prove to Kenny that they're both they're not as good as they say they are. I'm like, this is one of the problems I have with Tony Khan's storytelling. It's just like, where did this come from? When the fuck did the Young Bucks ever say they had an issue with Kenny or Moxley or they don't trust Will Ospreay or they don't trust Moxley? Like, this shit is, you just pulled it out of your ass completely. Like this there wasn't even a hint of this tension or this idea that the Bucks and Moxley and Ospreay have beat. So whatever when it comes to that. But yeah, this match is going to be top tier.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the better matches on the show. I think they can tear it up. They can tear it up, all four of these guys. We've seen Young Bucks and Ospreay and Swerve last year at All In deliver one of the best tag team matches in AEW history. We've seen Moxley and Kingston versus the Young Bucks in 2021 give the best match at that Double or Nothing show that year. So yeah, this has a very high chance to be the match of the night for sure. But is it the most anticipated? I think that there's an argument for this match to not only be the most anticipated, but to quite possibly be the main event on Sunday for the AEW Women's World Championship. Thekla will defend against the winner of the Casino Gauntlet, Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale was set to be in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament earlier this year, but she had to be pulled due to a serious shoulder injury that required her to relinquish the TBS championship and to be pulled from the tournament. Then she was replaced by Mercedes Moné, who of course went on to win the tournament, but Willow would get another crack, another opportunity to become the AEW Women's World Champion when she had a miraculous comeback, coming back early from the injury, entering the Casino Gauntlet at Beach Break and winning the whole damn thing to earn the opportunity to challenge Thekla for the AEW Women's World Championship at Redemption. After the matchup, Thekla attacked her. Then they were both laid out by Mercedes Moné with the Owen Hart Foundation tournament title. This past week on Dynamite, Thekla and Willow went face-to-face in what I thought was one of the better AEW women's promo exchanges, with both ladies knowing their characters so well. Thekla believes that she is going to tear away that smile and show off the ugliness inside of Willow Nightingale, while Willow has spread blood, sweat, and tears for this business and to realize her dream of becoming the AEW's Women's World Champion, and she feels that Thekla will be nothing more than a shortcut to the title. John, what did you think about the promo exchange on Wednesday between these two ladies, and who's walking out champion going into Wembley Stadium?
Oh man, that back and forth, that promo they had on Wednesday was so good. And I think it was Brian Alvarez that was like, "Oh man, I hated it because they just kept going back and forth." And
when
back and
I
forth.
was listening to that, I was like, "What did he
missed.
watch?" He said the crowd didn't even seem into it, and Dave immediately was like, "No, they seem pretty into it." I was like, "Yes, they were."
Wait, his thing was that because they were going back and forth and letting each other talk. And I'm like, so you missed the point. Like, what the fuck do you think Mick Foley was out there for? He was moderating a advertised face-off where they're being asked to speak to each other back and forth. It's not like if they spontaneously were backstage talking to each other tit for tat, then I would get it. But I was like, no, they were out there. They had a moderator. They asked them to speak to each other. And when they spoke, it was compelling. I thought they both used each other's catchphrases in a way that was real interesting, especially the way Thekla brought it all back around at the end of the promo with when your fucking rainbows are gone and your clouds are over the rainbows and I piss on your clouds. I want you to smile anyway. And then she bust her in the fucking head with the mic. I was like, that shit was fucking awesome. That shit was awesome. Thekla is fucking awesome. Like, Thekla is such a surprise. Thekla, for a long time when she was in Stardom, the biggest thing people would say was, "Oh, I think she would work better in a Western promotion. I think she would be better in America." Well, motherfucker,
you were certainly right, because she was widely talked about as one of like the worst ladies on the Stardom roster.
And they were already like that. The thing with Stardom conversation online too, especially with like American Stardom fans or Western Stardom fans or non-Japanese Stardom fans, is that they hate anything that has to do with America. They think that they're trying to get away from it by watching Stardom. So when anything American comes to Stardom, they act like it's the worst thing. Or not American, but just non-Japanese comes to Stardom. They're like, "Oh, it's the worst fucking thing in the world." Like, you fucking weeb, like, shut the fuck up. Thekla went in there with Starlight Kid at the pay-per-view Forbidden Door, and they went and they motherfucking killed that shit in the match. There was no Western promo work necessary. They had a fucking great match. So that's all bullshit. Now, there has been the conversation that, like, man, Thekla's been so good, like, she shouldn't lose to Willow Nightingale. And I was like, I am a fan of Thekla. I really am. But I don't know what you do for Willow if she doesn't win this. I think Thekla's gonna be okay. I think Thekla has more time down the road. Like, she just got here and all. She's been here a year and she's done a lot. I think Willow has had opportunities where it should have been the time and they didn't fucking do it. And she can't survive another one of those. another time where Willow should have been champion and we just went in another direction for whatever reason. Like, we've got to do this. Then there's the Mercedes issue. Like, but then she's gonna lose in a month. She'll lose to Mercedes. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know for sure. Like Mercedes, I guess winning at Wembley is something they've been building to for a long time too. So that's another issue. I mean, in a perfect world, Willow would have been injured for a little bit longer.
No, in a perfect world, Willow doesn't get injured. No, in a perfect world, Willow doesn't get injured, and this is Mercedes versus Thekla.
Yeah, that's kind of how we called it a long ass time ago too. That's exactly the way we thought it would go. Which unfortunately things didn't happen that way. So like now Willow's likely going to fucking win the title and lose at Wembley. But I just think she needs that moment. That moment of Willow Nightingale can be the world champion. Even if I would screw her out, I would have Mercedes fuck her over. Like I don't think Willow should just lose at Wembley. Mercedes should stab her or something. Shoot her.
I honestly feel like yes, they've been planning the 3-way between Takeshita, Okada, and Fletcher. They've been planning FTR versus Cage and Cope and the Bucks. I think that the 3-way that the fans have dictated is this one, because Thekla has pulled off the Becky Lynch of getting herself over enough to be placed in this matchup. Like her character and how her character reacts to Mercedes Moné and how her character acts to Willow Nightingale. That's what that woman's title match at All In needs. You need someone who could be this lightning rod to play off of the Willow and Mercedes dynamic that we've already seen. We've seen it. We've seen it twice. We've seen it at Double or Nothing. We saw it at the end of last year. I feel like Thekla has earned her spot in this championship matchup. But you are right. She has another option with the Stardom story to do at Wembley Stadium. So I will say Willow Nightingale gets the win, and we're doing Willow Mercedes 3 at All In.
My hope is that they have Ciudi for All In, because that's a big. They've been teasing that for a little while now on Twitter and then in person when she went over to Japan. So do it.
Yeah. J News.
It's another one of those moments for me where I wish you and John didn't say what you just said a minute ago, because it made all the sense in the world. Look, for me, position wise, I've been feeling like Thekla deserves the All In moment because of the work that she's done as before her becoming champion, while she's been champion, and everything she's been able to do with the existing AEW relationship with Stardom and her continuing her Stardom feud, right? It would be cool to see a triple threat match between Thekla and Mercedes and Willow, but I don't think that's the way they're going to go for All In. As like John said, Willow deserves her crowning moment, her crowning achievement moment. It's going to suck. She's going to be a champion for only about a month's time. If that's the way we're going to go, which is why in my head, I have it like, I feel like Thekla should retain here, but like everybody else is saying as well, the point is valid. We can't continue to have Willow lose these matches. The build has been there for the last 6 years, really, for her. So for all intents and purposes, reluctantly, I'm going to go with Willow because from a storyline perspective, it makes sense. And based on what SP3 and John just posed, it also makes sense if Tekla's going to continue to be spotlighted. If she's going to have a match against anybody, it should be against Shuri, who is currently still the IWGP women's champion.
Coming off of one of the best women's matches of the year against Natsu Boy.
Yo, first of all, she's retiring, bro. What the fuck? And I was like, that hit me. I was like, whoa, she's retiring. I was like, oh. Anyways, Natsu Boy's retiring.
Those Joshi girls retire real early.
They do. And I get it, and I understand it at the end of the day. But it's like, damn, man, that sucks.
I had a feeling for a
but-
while, just the way they've been booking her and some of the things she has said. And I was like, it feels like we're getting towards the end here. And she just announced it.
That sucked. But January 2027, that's when she's retiring and all that jazz. But yeah, man, Shuri versus Thekla is going to be a hell of a match. I really wish they would have ridden that Saya Kamatani wave for a little bit longer. I really wish that would have been the match.
She needed a break. She was too banged up. She was too banged up.
I know. But you know, that's still going to be a great match. It's still a spotlight for Thekla on All In, if that's what they do. Not if. That's what they should do at the end of the day. Thekla should not be off that show. She has to be on that show one way or another. So that's that.
I can even see them doing a Stardom trio versus Triangle of Madness.
Oh, that would be
actually that probably makes sense. Although I would prefer it to be a big featured match. I could also see Stardom being like, we would like that match for ourselves.
We can get our titles back and finally get one over on Thekla.
On Thekla, yeah. The trio that would face them would be then who? In that estimation, who would face the Triangle of Madness?
It depends.
They interrupted, didn't they? Was it
God's
just?
Eye.
Yeah, I was like, they interrupted God's Eye, and then they didn't fight God's Eye. So, like, I feel like there's a match.
Well, they did. No, I think it was a God's Eye trio. It was Hina. Hina is in God's Eye. Yeah,
because they have they have a different name. There's like a different.
Yeah. Their trio is called something different, but they're in the God's Eye trio. They're in the God's Eye stable.
Haya Shishida is part of that trio, right? If I'm not mistaken. No. Okay. No. Never mind.
Right. I think she's been teaming mostly with like Neo Genesis since she.
They're trying to recruit her, right? Didn't they ask her straight up? Yeah.
All right, but it's about that time for us to discuss the main event for the AEW World Championship. Kenny by God Omega returns to his home country of Canada to defend the title for the first time in his second reign against TNT champion, the Jet, Kevin Knight. At AEW Dynamite Beach Break, Kenny Omega finally did it. He became a two-time AEW World Champion in one of the best matches of the year against MJF. After that, he had his title celebration the following week with the Young Bucks bringing him the original AEW World Championship. He was confronted by his potential all-in opponent, Will Ospreay, where they talked about all their history with one another and why that match is going to be important to the both of them. But then they were interrupted by TNT champion Kevin Knight, because Kevin Knight had agreed to compete in the Death's Door matchup back at Forbidden Door with MJF, only if MJF granted him a shot at the AEW World title. So Kevin Knight wanted that guaranteed title shot against the new champion. But Kenny Omega says, we're not going to do that. He'd rather give him the title shot because he's a nice guy and because he's always seen great potential in Kevin Knight. But now Kevin has made the same mistake Kenny once made in aligning with Don Callis and joining the family. He believes that Kevin Knight doesn't need the family to get the job done. And Kevin Knight says that he doesn't have any goodness in his heart, only greatness, and attacked Omega. This led to the Callis family coming out and the Death Riders having Omega and Ospreay's back. But then that led to Omega, Ospreay, and Moxley picking up a victory over the Don Callis family on Dynamite this week. It led to a whole confrontation between Omega, Ospreay, Moxley, and the Young Bucks after the matchup. The Don Callis family tried to attack the champion, but the champion got the jump on him until Kevin Knight came out of nowhere and blasted Omega with the TNT championship, splitting him open, busted him open in the process. This came just a couple of hours after Knight defeated former AEW World Champion former AEW World Champion Darby Allin to retain the TNT Championship and set the record with 10 successful defenses in his first reign with the title. Can Kevin Knight make history yet again and become a double champion, or will Kenny Omega officially punch his ticket for All In this Sunday? J News, we've talked a lot about this matchup throughout the preview today, but who do you think wins and how long do you think this matchup will be on Sunday?
Let me answer the latter first. I feel like this will be a little bit over 20, anywhere between 20 and 25 minutes. I feel like this match will be. Secondly, Kenny Omega wins this. He retains his championship here. Like I said, this is more of not a proving ground. Yeah, and you know what? It is a proving ground at the end of the day. This is more of an opportunity for Jet to prove that he can hang in the main event spot. If he performs at a high level here and he proves that he can hang with Kenny by God Omega, then we know that the Jet is exactly positioned where he's supposed to be positioned on the AEW hierarchy at the end of the day. So yeah, another banger for the AEW books. This will be. My neighbors are being dicks.
The AEW World Title on pay-per-view has the lowest rated matchup is 4 3/4 stars. That's the freaking floor for AEW World Title matches on pay-per-view this year.
I believe in Kev. That he'll reach the floor at the end of the day. With Kenny here. And as long as this doesn't have to be one of Kenny's Broadways, which I don't think it is, like I said, I think it'll be anywhere between 20 to 25 minutes. Then this is going to be tight and it's going to bang, and it's just going to be one of those matches that's going to showcase Kevin's abilities, and it's going to keep Kenny where he's been for the last decade at the end of the day. So,
yeah. John, who you got in the main event?
Oh man, it's such a hard choice. I can't really think who could possibly win this fucking world title match. But no, man, Kenny's gonna win. Obviously, I guess the only question is how. Like, how is Kenny Omega gonna win? Is she gonna be straight up? He's just gonna kill Kevin Knight and nothing happens, and show over, or are they gonna do something? Is he gonna get back involved with Mike Bailey? He said the Don Callis family wouldn't be involved, so you know, they implied a straight up main event. And at that point now, it's gonna be up to Kevin Knight and Kenny Omega to make the people believe that Kevin Knight can win that world championship. And if they can do that, then 5 stars all around. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, putting Kevin Knight in this spot obviously brought a lot of conversation about the show, about the main event. I think that there's no way they weren't aware of the perception that would come with Kevin Knight in the main event against Kenny Omega. I think they decided to ignore it and put Kevin Knight in that position anyway. Test him. So good luck, brother, because all you got, that's really all you got to do. Make the people believe that you can win that world title on Sunday. And then you're made. You did it. So here we go. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like this decision. Don't get us wrong. Like, all of us have our opinion on Kevin Knight being in this main event, but this is not like a 100% like unarguable, indisputable bad move by AEW. This is a questionable, a debatable move by AEW that I've seen very fans being very positive towards it and very negative towards it. And that's why I find myself to be more in the middle, where I see both sides of this perspective. Could AEW have done a better job of setting up Kevin Knight for this matchup? Could AEW have found a better opponent for Kenny Omega for a pay-per-view main event that would have sold tickets and caused more intrigue into this show? 100% yes. Yes, there's no doubt. 100% that is a fact. But the positive of it is AEW having an eye towards the future and trying to set up one of their young stars, one of the young pillars of the company for success, and establishing him as a pay-per-view main eventer this young, this soon into his career, and this soon after his heel turn. Yes, that's what we as fans have been asking for all these major promotions to do, is to push the young talent. And AEW is doing it, but I feel like so many people are so hung up on the fact that they didn't do it in the way that would have been best, or the way they would have done it, that they can't see the positives about it. So I can see both sides of their perspective. but I just only see one result in this matchup. Kenny Omega gets the win. As far as how long the matchup would go, I think it's going 30. I think they're gonna give them 30, and I think both guys are gonna be working with a chip on their shoulder.
I think that while I understand the want, like if Tony's like, yeah, it's pay-per-view, we always give the people what they paid for, whatever. Yeah, but I will go real angle heavy on this. Like, it's a middle of the road show. You building to All In. Like, I would do a lot of angles. I would make some fucking funny magic happen here on this show, just so that there's a lot of, just that people can feel like, oh shit, I missed something. I missed something important.
You gotta have a lot of talking points coming out of the show.
So yeah, I think that's a fair assessment, and I think that's what's going to happen. Really, there's just a lot of moving pieces right now as to where to plug them in, the decision-making factor of it all. Right. So that I think, there's going to be plenty of talking points, and involved throughout the show and stuff like that. The main event thing kind of gets, because how most, like a lot of the time with main event matches, and after they end, and how they'll build an angle around it. Like for me, it's like, is this the place for that for the main event match? Do they build an angle after the main event is over for this particular match, or do you just do the angle stuff on Dynamite and Collision?
You do the angle. I got the angle for them to do that will solve one of my biggest issues going into All In.
Okay.
The angle is Kenny Omega wins.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Death Riders come out. Claudio, Pac, Daniel Garcia, Willie Yuta, John Moxley.
Sure.
They jump Kenny Omega. They attack him.
Okay.
They hold him up, and then Moxley waves towards the entranceway. Will Ospreay comes out, and he tells Will Ospreay, "What did the lesson I told you? You pulled the trigger, no matter who's across the ring from you." He wants him to hit him with the hidden blade. Ospreay takes off his arm pad, goes for the hidden blade, turns around and hits Moxley with it. And him and Omega fight off the Death Riders to close the show. I think that will solve a lot of problems. This you need some type of, because I fear they are just going to have Ospreay part of the Death Riders on the road to All In. I don't understand that.
I feel like you're building intrigue to the wrong match. So like now people want to see Ospreay and Moxley at All In, but he's gonna fight Kenny. Like Kenny's the opponent. That's I was with you, but I feel like he should have just jumped. He should just hit him. Just jumped in the Ospreay should have jumped his ass.
Ospreay's gonna be a heel on the road to All In.
We talked about this last month or last show where I was like, this, I can kind of see where the way they can take this. Like the only way this makes sense now is if they're actually convincing Ospreay to be a fucking Death Rider with them, and like he's falling down that hole of darkness. I forgot what fucking line.
That sounds horrible.
We talked. That's what it is. That's what has been happening. That's what people are questioning. I hate to repeat what the story is.
I hate to repeat what Jimmy Macram said yesterday, but it's really becoming the case. Moxley is becoming to the Kenny Omega Will Ospreay matchup what Deborah McMichaels was to Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock at WrestleMania 17. He's just a distraction. That's all.
I don't know why. I don't know why we're here. I remember thinking that the Ospreay Moxley thing would have ended at this pay-per-view.
Yes, me too.
It really feels like, based on the story they're telling, that Moxley is convincing Will Ospreay to go down a hole with him, and he's going to either get convinced otherwise, or he's actually just going to go through with it. And it's like, for some reason, they decided that Will Ospreay's fucking humbling moment.
We're gonna turn the biggest baby face that we have for the future.
I have no idea why.
On the road to when he's the biggest baby face in London, England.
I have no idea why we're doing it this way, but that's why when I look down the road,
I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it now. I blame John for all of this because he was in support of this whole fucking
I thought
story.
we were going to be done by now.
I know. I told you, but I told you that this is what was going to happen.
I mapped it out until here. Like, I'm not sure why it was still. Why is the car still driving? Like, we're out of gas. I have no idea like where this is headed. I mean, of course, someone can just convince Will Ospreay that he's doing this wrong, but they're like, what the fuck does that do for Ospreay and Kenny? Like, there's no what the fuck tension does it have between them if Will Ospreay, if they successfully get Will Ospreay to leave the Death Riders and realize that he's not acting right or whatever, like then that's your emotional high moment. Like,
okay, so you want to push towards that? This is what they should do. This is what you do. Keep the same angle I just said. Ospreay fights off the entire Death Riders on his own. Omega's too beaten up to help him. He fights out the whole Death Riders on his own. He, at the end, clearing the ring of the Death Riders, he reaches his hand out to Omega. He brings Omega to his feet. Omega gets to his feet, hits him with the V trigger, holds up the AEW World Championship.
I like that.
Omega needs to be the heel going into it. If you're gonna make anybody the heel, it should not be Ospreay.
It needs to be Kenny. That's why I have no idea. Like the trajectory for this story, as they've told it so far, I cannot see like how the fuck you turn Kenny heel right now. But in a situation where the Death Riders jump Kenny, I mean they jump Ospreay or jump Kenny, and then Ospreay does turn on them.
No. Like, the way I laid it out is exactly how I wanted to happen. Because if the Death Riders turn on Ospreay, then this whole storyline totally fucked up your next big world champion. Because if Ospreay is not the person that turns on the Death Riders, and the Death Riders turn on him, he's the dumbest fucking babyface in the history of pro wrestling.
So, with all that being said, I just want to point out that I understand everyone's want for there to be a heel versus babyface dynamic for the pay-per-view. I
don't need that.
I don't.
I'd rather them both be baby faces.
Yeah, I rather it just be that for the simple sport of competition and who the best really is in all elite wrestling in 2026. I feel like that should be where we're headed with Will and Kenny. Now, as for the angle, I like what you posed there, SP3, with Will taking Mox's head off at some point and helping clear the ring with Kenny Omega and all that stuff. I think that's a good shout. But to John's point, what do you do with Moxley after that? Wouldn't we want the Moxley versus Ospreay match? How does that turn out?
Do it on TV. Do it in Mexico.
That's not a bad idea. Will's been wanting to go to Mexico.
Yeah,
that's not a bad idea. So,
but I doubt they're going to do that matchup before All In. I think they're saving that for Will's first title defense.
All Out.
Yeah,
basically, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
How do you keep John busy in the meantime?
Someone has to take the Continental title from him at All In. That's another part of the story that they have just completely neglected because they're too focused on fucking Jon Moxley playing Uncle Phil to Will Ospreay Smith.
Does Hanger fit into that?
I did think of that too. That Hanger did call out Moxley, and you can do like a whole all-in full circle matchup where he's trying to take the Continental title from him.
If he's healthy.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so what's the deal? Like, is he not healthy?
Apparently not. No, apparently he's got herniated discs.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in the promo, he mentioned that he had been doing physical therapy, but I thought it was done. Like, I thought the point was that you were done. I didn't know he meant like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
They definitely didn't make that clear in the promo.
Yeah, they didn't. So, well, there's that, I guess. That does put a wrench in plans then. At the end of the day, I mean, you're not going to put Swerve in that spot if Hanger can't go.
No, they probably would put Swerve in that spot because guess what? John Moxley is somehow a babyface.
He is a tweener. Yeah.
Hey, you know what though? The Swerve match makes sense. You wanted to bring your nosy bald ass out there. You want to cheer this motherfucker on while I lose my shit.
True.
And he cheated last time they faced each other with
That's
the
right.
Bucks at Dynasty last year. So
that makes sense.
Hey, Con, you fucking hear me right now? You put Swerve on that card. Okay, do not play games. I don't want to see a world where Swerve Strickland is not on the All In card, where he's in the fucking casino battle royale gauntlet or a fucking 12-man ladder match. I don't want to hear shit. Swerve Strickland needs to be featured. Like last year, he wasn't. He was in a tag match, which was an incredible tag match.
Yeah,
it needs to be featured.
Yeah, that's a good shout. That's a thread right there.
I agree.
So.
Do we get Swerve on Sunday?
Yes.
Shit, fit him in there somewhere.
Yeah,
like I said, all these angles and shit. He's better run out and fight Mox or something.
With the way Tony posed it during his media call.
Yeah.
He'll be there on Sunday.
He basically said that he will answer more questions about Swerve after redemption. Yeah. So you basically teased it that might happen. So
we will kick Moxley in his fucking head. Like Moxley,
I would love
really
that.
Does.
I would love that.
I believe that he is owed. It doesn't matter if they got involved. Where the fuck do you get off coming out here and cheering him on and shit? He didn't. Fuck you.
But we have made it to the end of our preview for AEW Redemption. Appreciate all of y'all for sounding off in the live chat and joining us today. And of course, I hope you all enjoyed the show. Remember, early start time for Redemption, 6 p.m. Eastern for the buy-in, and then 7 p.m. Eastern is the start of the show. Hopefully, this means that well before midnight, the show will be over, but I doubt that. Anyway,
just adding an hour of content.
Monday, we will be here 12:05 p.m. Eastern time with our AEW Redemption review. John, J News, are y'all joining me for that?
I will be there.
Awesome all around. John, until then, let the people know where they can follow you on social media and when they shall see you again.
Follow me. Follow Dirt Sheet Radio. I'll be working all weekend, covering all the shows, all the pop culture news, all the Comic-Con news. There's a lot of that coming out, so make sure to follow me on Dirt Sheet Radio. Follow Comic Book Click. Follow Dirt Sheet Radio on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Instagram. I said the same thing. Just Google it, man. Just follow me. Dirt Sheet Radio. It's right there in the corner, right there. Follow me.
Boom. Follow the man, John. Thank you so much for joining us today. And J News, let the people know where they can follow you.
Y'all can follow me over on the Twitter machine at JohnLYFNMG. Follow me over on Instagram at _JONJY. If Dolores is still in the house, Dolores, I'll reach out to you. We're going to be back on Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hit the Ropes Podcast on our respective YouTube channels. And I'll be back on Monday to do the review for AEW Redemption, and we're gonna probably have a shit ton to talk about. Lots of debuts and comebacks and all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
All that goodness. We got a lot unpacked on AEW Redemption, the final pay-per-view ahead of AEW All In London, and we're gonna have plenty of great content on the road to All In London, and of course covering the show when it happens in August. I will more than likely be there live for the pay-per-view, so we'll have a lot for us to wrap on the road to Wembley Stadium. But until then, you can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat, patreon.com/TrueHillHeat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best way to support us when we're not live here. And check out all the great content we got on this channel right now, like our Dark Side of the Ring Season 7, episodes 1 through 3, Jeff Jarrett and the Battle for TNA review. Check out AE Ramble from yesterday, reviewing the Go Home Show ahead of AEW Redemption. as well as we and John will also be live on Sunday over on the True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment YouTube channel for our X-Men 97 Season 2, Episode 6, Danger.xex, or EXE, excuse me. So, got a lot to enjoy over there. One of my favorite episodes of X-Men 97 was this week. But you got that to enjoy. And of course, we will be live tomorrow, 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time, the True Hill Heat Flagship Podcast. Myself, Miss Chrissy Love, and the True Draw Josh. For J News, for John, it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been our AEW Redemption 2026 preview. We are signing off until next time.